The doctor's cut Mummy's belly open to get you out, you know? Oh, yeah. Okay. So by the title of this video, you know what it's going to be about. I'm going to be talking about my labour and delivery. Oh my god, he was eating. Please don't eat these, I need them. As you can tell, my baby is not a fresh newborn baby. He's a huge 1.5-year-old, so the story is not fresh in my mind. It happened 18 months ago. So I'm sorry if I like forget things and then I add them in later. I'm a terrible storyteller already, so it kind of doesn't help that you're shaking the camera, mate. It kind of doesn't. Do you want to tell the story? Okay. It kind of doesn't help that. What was I saying? See, I'm a terrible storyteller. When I was 37 weeks pregnant, I had an appointment at my doctor, like your appointment that you have every week. Oh my god, I'm already terrible at telling a story. Okay, you have the appointments that you go to every week, and at my 37-week appointment, the doctor was like, okay, what are we doing? What's happening? I would like you to be induced. I had cholestasis, I think is what it's called. It's where you have high bile acids, and if you don't have your baby by 38 weeks, then you are more likely to give birth to a stillborn. So she was like, okay, we're gonna induce you 38 weeks, let's pick your baby's birthday. And I was like, okay, oh my gosh, this is real, this is happening, that's crazy. It was just so weird that she said, let's pick your baby's birthday. Like, that was like... So we chose the 2nd of March, which was the following Wednesday. That was the following Wednesday, but I was coming into the hospital on the Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So when we arrived at the hospital, we were shown just our room, and I went and like chilled out for a bit, and the midwives didn't come in to see me for a bit. And when they did, they kind of just explained what was going to happen about the induction, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Before they could get anything started with the induction process, I had to have an IV put in, and I am terrified of needles. I hate having blood tests done or IVs or like anything to do with a needle. If you're sticking anything in my arm, I don't like it. It's not good. I don't like it. So the doctor came in to start the IV, to like put the IV in because I was so swollen. It was really, really hard for her to find a vein. She tried 5 times in both arms, and she was just digging around in there, and I was like, I was just laying there crying. Like, it was painful. And she decided to call an anesthesiologist to come up so he could numb my arm and then dig around for the vein. So he did that, and the anesthetic stung, like it stung really bad, but it was good because then he could just dig around and I couldn't feel anything, which was kind of a really weird sensation. Anyway, the IV's in, the midwife comes in, and she seems like pissed off because it literally took an hour and a half for them to get an IV in before they could actually start doing anything. They need the IV in, apparently. So she's like pissed off, and then there's a student midwife who's with her. She was really lovely. They just come and they like feel my belly around, they're feeling for the baby. The doctor comes and does an ultrasound to see that the baby's head down. The doctor does the ultrasound to see if the baby is head down and ready to go, so that's all good. Midwife comes back and explains that she's going to insert a pill into my cervix to just like soften it, I think. Soften, and it'll start, see if it maybe starts labor. After the IV trauma, I was literally like in distress of how long that took, and like it was pretty painful, so I was already freaking out. And when she went to insert the pill, I kind of just like freaked out and was like, no, I can't do this, it's painful, it's hurting me, like I can't. I already freaked out, literally, I can't, I need gas and air. And she basically kind of was just like, this needs to get done, you know, blah blah blah, like being a bitch. And I was just like, I'm sorry, no, get me gas and air, you're shoving your whole hand up me. I need gas and air. I get the gas and air, and then they get the shit done. It's up there. I'm telling you, I have the world's most sensitive vagina / cervix because it hurt. It hurt just to get a pill up there, like, and I was just like, how is a baby gonna go through there when she can't even get her like fingers in there? Like, so once the pill is in there, I just go to sleep, and Jack, my husband, goes home, and I just had the monitors hooked up to me, and I kind of just like was in and out of sleep all night, and they kept coming in and doing the pill thing again, so I'd have gas in there again. Then in the morning when I woke up, I was kind of just having period type pains, nothing crazy. They also forgot to give me food, so that was great. I was like really hungry in the morning, and Jack came in with some sandwiches, so I had a sandwich for breakfast because they forgot to bring me breakfast as well. And then a new midwife came in who was really, really nice. She was like super lovely, and she kind of just said, we're gonna wait and take you over to labor and delivery, like where you actually have the baby, take you over there, and then we'll see where you're at, and maybe we'll break your waters. So got all my stuff, waddled over to labor and delivery ward. Met a new midwife who was really nice as well, and she basically said to me, started me on the drip or whatever it is that increases labor, and then she asked if I would like an epidural or if I wanted to see how I was going in a few hours, like if I just wanted to see how it would go. And when she asked me that, I remember like my mum, she was behind her when she was asking if I'd like an epidural or not, and I just was seeing my mum like get the epidural. So I just said nah, I'll get it, because I knew it would take a few hours for the anesthesiologist to come and actually give me the epidural. So I just said yes to the epidural. Throughout my pregnancy, I fully thought I was gonna have this natural, amazing birth like every woman does. Everything was just like so out of my control. I was just like, yep, I don't want to feel anything, and get me the epidural. So I started feeling contractions. I was probably feeling them. Baby, shh, mommy's talking. I was probably feeling the contractions for maybe like 1 to 2 hours. I don't know. They were really, like, felt really painful to me. I think the contractions on the monitor were getting to about a 60. Yeah, they hurt. So I was like, hurry up, where's this epidural? I was so big as well, like, it's in my throat. I felt like I had gained a lot of weight in my pregnancy, so moving around was not like an option for me. I kind of was just on the bed, and you know, when I was pregnant, I thought, you know, I'm gonna be moving and I'm gonna be in water and I'm gonna like have this great birth. It was just so medical, and I was just in a hospital bed with all these monitors on me and just hooked up to an IV, and it was just like, I kind of just accepted it. So once the anesthesiologist, I think that's what they're called, came, and I had the epidural, I wasn't scared of getting the epidural. I kind of knew, I'd done lots of research on different types of like options to have during birth. Like I knew what was to happen. Like I knew what they were doing, kind of thing. Like I knew I knew that they numbed the area first and then it went in, so I wasn't scared of like a big needle going in because I knew I wasn't going to feel it. So I wasn't scared or anything, and I just did it, and I was all good, and it was great, and it worked really good. It was a good block is what they said. So I literally could not move my legs. I couldn't feel my legs or anything. I couldn't feel anything. So once that was done and I was just sat in the bed feeling nothing, they checked me, and I think I was just maybe 2 or 3 centimeters. They decided to break, or maybe I was at 4. I don't know. It was between that. It wasn't a lot. Maybe I was still 1 to 2 even. They decided to break my waters. That was basically just like a big, that was uncomfortable, even though I had the epidural. Had I? I don't remember. Oh wow, I don't remember. Because I remember sucking on the gas and air and it being painful. But I don't think it would have been painful if I'd had the epidural. I don't know. now I'm confused of whether they broke up before or after I had the epidural. I remember it being uncomfortable and I was sucking on the gas mask. I think I'd actually had it before the epidural. I'm terrible at telling stories. They'd already broken my waters and then I had the epidural. Makes sense. Sorry. Anyways, after that I was just waiting around for like hours and hours. I wasn't feeling anything. I just kind of was getting a lot of back pain. And when you have an epidural, you're on fluids, or even when you're just being induced, I think you're on fluids. So I had a catheter in as well. Ooh. You're on fluids, so this bit is like a bit confusing to me because I don't really remember, but so what happened was with the fluids they were giving me, it was all going in but it wasn't coming out. I just wasn't weeing anything out, like nothing was coming out. I think blood was coming out, so there was something with my kidneys maybe like shutting down. I don't really know too much about what that was or why that happened, but apparently there was 7 liters worth of liquids that they pumped into my body that did not come out, and I just blew up like a balloon. I was so swollen. I'll talk more about that in another video of my recovery for another video. That's another story. Something was going wrong there. I'm not too sure what it was, and then all of a sudden the midwife came in and she ran over to the monitors and just like looked at them and ran back out, and then she ran back in with a whole bunch of doctors and more midwives, and they basically said that the baby's heart rate was going down with every contraction I had and I needed to try and move around to get his heart rate back up to normal. So they tried to move me around, which was really hard because my legs were dead. They were numb. I couldn't move. It was really hard. Really painful as well. The epidural started to wear off and I started to get pains down in my back. Then all of a sudden, before I knew it, a doctor came in, another doctor that I had seen before. She was the one who had scheduled the induction. So she was like, hey Rhiannon, remember me? Blah blah blah. Yeah, and I was just like, okay, what the fuck is happening? I was kind of just literally unaware. It's so crazy when I think about it. I didn't realize how many like things were going wrong. I kind of was just like out of it, I guess. And she came in and she was like, you know, baby's being a bit silly with his heart rate, and you know, we're gonna try and move you around again. Basically, you know, if you need to go in for a C-section, then we're gonna have to do it. It's best to get baby out like as quick as possible, blah 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 blah. And basically I was just shoved a form in my face to just sign the C-section, and I was shaking and just like, I don't even think I really signed my name. It was a scribble. As soon as I signed it, I was literally off for a emergency C-section. Yeah, so why am I about to start crying right now? What the hell? So weird. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm starting to cry. You just broke the blind. So I remember like seeing my mom and my sister was there as well. Just saying, oh, we'll see ya, you know, we'll see you when you get out. And my mom was off being teary-eyed. I could see her off being teary-eyed because she was worried. But I literally was so kind of just like, whatever. Like, I didn't realize what was happening. I was kind of just like, do it. Cut me open. Get this thing out of me, you know? Yeah, just when they wheeled me down to the operating room, they said his heart rate had gone back up. So they were like, oh, this cheeky little thing is being cheeky, his heart rate's all good now. But they were like, oh, it's still good, we'll still get him out quick though, because you know, blah blah blah. They cut him. It cut me out. I couldn't feel it obviously, but it was really scary. I just remember shaking and looking at like my blood pressure kept getting like really high, and I heard, the first thing I heard was him take a big breath, like a big crying breath, and then they held him up over the curtain and all I saw was like his baby penis and balls. I was like, I didn't see his face. And they brought him around to the side and I saw him, and then they took him off and he had fluid on his lungs, so I didn't get to hold him or anything in the operating room. And Jack went over and took photos of him and got to cut a bit of his umbilical cord. Like, didn't actually get to cut the umbilical cord, but like cut a bit of it. And then I'm not sure what happened with him, but something, and they just took him away. They took him up to the NICU. I didn't get to hold him or anything until like heaps later. I remember thinking like, I just want Jack to stay with me. I was just so scared. Like, I literally thought I was gonna die. Like, just like crazy, because no one's talking to you and they're just like doing stuff to your body. And at one point I heard someone say, oh, like, be careful of her bowels, or like watch out for her bowels, or something like that. And I was just like, what? And then I was in surgery for like heaps longer, and it was really scary because I was by myself and I just like kept shaking because of the epidural makes you shake. And I was laying there and I felt like, fuck, I felt so like alone, because I'm like, I just had my husband here and my baby here, and now I'm just laying here. And it was really lonely and scary because I was by myself. Went off to the recovery and I was laying in the recovery for about an hour, just shaking with no baby. And I don't even think I really cared that the baby wasn't with me. I was just like, I was laying in recovery for like an hour or something, and yeah, I just didn't know what was going on. And I don't think like my mind, I didn't really care about anything. I was just like out of it. And then when I got back to my room, Jack was there and my mom and my sister had gone home, because at this point it was like midnight. That's how long. I was in labor for 11 hours. I was born at 11:58. He weighed 7 pounds something. He weighed 3.4 kilos, 3.475 kilos, which is like 7 pounds, 7.7 pounds, I'm pretty sure. I didn't get to hold him till like 5 hours later when Jack had gone home, because I'm not allowed to stay with you. They have to leave. So Jack stayed with me for a little bit and then he had to go home, and then I just went to sleep. And then a midwife woke me up a few hours later with little baby, and that was the first time I had ever held him. And it makes me feel sad when I think about it now, because I'm like, no one was there. Like, Jack wasn't there to see me hold him or anything, you know? Like, we didn't get to have that like family moment. I wasn't sad at the time. I was just like, oh my gosh. It was like 4 in the morning or something when she came in with him, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I kind of didn't even like, it wasn't like registered that like he was like mine. I was just like, oh my gosh, a little baby. And I tried to like feed him, and that was it. So strange, like when I think about it, like I didn't feel that like, oh my gosh, love yet. Like, I hadn't felt that yet. That like crazy, like when you love your baby, you're like, oh my god, this baby, like I made this baby and I love it so much. Like, I hadn't felt that yet. I'm kind of glad that I hadn't felt it yet, because if she went to take him away, I would have been like, no, what are you doing? No, that's my baby. But I was kind of just like, okay, bye. That like motherly love hadn't like kicked in yet, which is, I think, is good, because I would have been so distressed throughout the whole rest of the C-section and the recovery. When I was in the recovery room for an hour, I would have been like stressed out, because once you feel that like love, you're just like, where you need the baby with you. I hadn't fallen in love with him yet, but the next morning when they brought him in, and I was with Jack and with the baby, we both kind of just like, wow, just fell in love with him. It's crazy. And now he's 1.5 years old. It's just crazy how fast it goes. Like, I can't believe that he's here. It like feels like I never not had him. I hope my story wasn't too long, it didn't drag on. I think I must have left a few details out, but it doesn't really matter. He came out of me. They cut him out of me. That's the story. I'm gonna make a whole nother video about my recovery, because that is another story. That's a huge story to tell. So yeah, please like, comment and subscribe if you want more videos from me and Oscar. More videos from me and Oscar. Yeah. You say bye. Say bye. See you, bye.
See ya, bye.